It's called My Sister's Boyfriend. My sister's boyfriend never knew he was the one I looked up to, while all the other boys at school were breaking hearts and acting cool. My sister's boyfriend held her hand. They walked so close in Switzerland, where we grew up, Americans, just foreigners who knew nothing then. Well, we walked down our mountainside. We learned that Martin Luther died. With all the sorrow in the States, Geneva seemed so far away. Une vie qui change, un cœur qui tremble, tremble. Une vie qui change, un cœur qui tremble, tremble. My sister's boyfriend had a smile that lit the darkest road for miles. Someday I'll find someone like that, I used to reassure myself. Just after graduation day, he left some things and moved away to Illinois, from Switzerland, from sheltering snow to Vietnam. Geneva couldn't keep us safe from war and loss and fear and pain. When we got word in Switzerland, our mountain tops, they turned to sand. Une vie qui change, un cœur qui tremble, tremble. Une vie qui change, un cœur qui tremble, tremble. I see them at their senior prom, my sister smiling on his arm, her corsage and his boutonniere, like king and queen, a perfect pair. And Wim, thank you for having me, and Susanna, thank you for finding me. I wanted to start this. I don't really know how to give a class. I've never done anything like this before. I thought what I would do is maybe sing some of my songs and talk about how I wrote them or what I was feeling, and that's sort of the best I can do. I can't like give a whole, you know, well, first you write this line and it has to rhyme with the third line, and I've learned a lot, you know, since I've been writing songs. I started writing really bad stuff, and I found that along the way, if I wrote what I didn't feel and what I didn't experience, then not only was I not interested in it, but no one else was either. They had to come from very personal experiences, because two things happened to me. one, if I start feeling distracted and they're not personal, I forget the lyrics. That's number one. And that's embarrassing. So I have to remain truly connected to every word. And I guess, the song that I'm most known for was really, it happened so many years ago. And I was going through a breakup. I was sitting in my apartment. I was probably eating peanut M&Ms and putting on weight when my girlfriend called me up and she said, you've got to come to this club and you have to hear this singer that I like so much. And reluctantly I went, and I was just sitting there expecting absolutely nothing. This guy started to sing, and then all of a sudden he sang, "And I wonder if you know that I never understood that although you said you'd go until you did, I never thought you would." And I just, all of a sudden, the room disappeared, and just a beeline from where he was to where I was sitting, and I felt like he was singing about my life, about me, about my breakup, my story. And I could not understand how someone who I didn't know seemed to know me so well. And so after the audience filtered out of the club, and I told my girlfriend to wait outside, I sat at a table like that and I wrote a poem on a napkin. And the poem was relayed to two producers that I worked with, and then this song was born. I heard he sang a good song, I heard he had a style, and so I came to see him, to listen for a while. And there he was, this young boy, a stranger to my eyes, strumming my pain with his fingers, singing my life with his words, killing me softly with his song, killing me softly with his song, telling my whole life with his words, killing me softly with his song. I felt all flushed with fever, embarrassed by the crowd. I felt he found my letters and read each one aloud. I prayed that he would finish, but he just kept right on, strumming my pain with his fingers, singing my life with his words, killing me softly with his song, killing me softly with his song, telling my whole life with his words, killing me softly with his song. He sang as if he knew me in all my dark despair, and then he looked right through me as if I wasn't there. But he was there, the stranger, singing clear and strong, strumming my pain with his fingers, singing my life with his words, killing me softly with his song, killing me softly with his song, telling my whole life with his words, killing me softly with his song. Do you think that, or actually, yes, can I have a little less guitar in my monitor?
Yes.
A bit? Thank you. You know, and then I also, like this gentleman, I love story songs too. And I was thinking, you know, I'm certainly not a young girl anymore, and I've written a lot of songs that are just, you know, it starts with a heartbreak and it ends with a heartbreak. And I don't learn one thing in the whole song. And I realized when I was making this new record that, you know, if I haven't lived this long and I can't impart any wisdom, then really what's the point in writing these songs? Because I've tried really hard to work things out in my own life. And so I really kind of wanted each song to have a little hope at the end. This song took me forever to write. It probably took me 40 years. Older than most of you are right now. And, you know, I see it as a cautionary tale, really, to young singers starting out. I don't know about you, and maybe so far you had a pretty easy road, but for me, I just felt like starting out, I had no sense of what I was doing. I had no boundaries, and I really had no voice. And so this song is actually kind of a recipe for manipulation. Again, it starts one way, and I feel that it ends with a bit of hope. But it's called Cup of Girl. You take a cup of girl, share a tablespoon of world. For some color, don't forget parental strife. Add an ounce of opportunity and a touch of promiscuity. Let her simmer gently on an open fire and watch her rise. Then you scrape away integrity and you meddle with her sanity. When you bring her to a boil, lower the flame. Then you mix 2 parts dishonesty with 1 part ingenuity. It's a tried and trusted foolproof recipe for a singer who can't speak. So you take a cup of girl, hide a tablespoon of world, add a German car for long hot summer nights, where you'll wipe a little dirt off and take her little shirt off, and you'll earn her trust of Alma Holland Drive. Then you'll rifle through her diary, write some words about her family, write a song about the times you made her cry. Then you mix 2 parts absurdity with 1 part ambiguity. Give her fountain pens for legal stuff to sign, for a singer who won't mind. On and on, you thought it was gone. You never thought this road would unwind. But suddenly, the lanes, they merge and the lines converge. And you never thought she'd have the nerve. So you broke this cup of girl, but she grew wiser in this world and forgave herself so many different things. She knows truth is all that matters, and that greed just makes you fatter. And she'll speak out anytime she feels the need. So take your money, take your credit, take your secrets along with it. You could take it all, but not her memory. She has choices to choose with, and a voice that she will use it. She no longer rides a pendulum that swings, and she'll sing. She'll sing. You take the cup of girl. Thank you so much. There's also another a song that I wrote several years ago. And that's the other thing. I don't know about you and songwriting, but for me, it's, you know, how does inspiration hit and when does it? You know, is it walking down the street? Is it talking to a friend? Is it a dream? Is it something somebody says? Is it a color? I know I'm so scared of flying, and when I look out the window and I look at those clouds, I find that I get past my fear and inspiration hits. But it comes in all different ways, all different times. I'm not one of those that drives with a tape recorder and, you know, writes down things as I hear them, but I think I have a pretty good memory. And I know when something touches me and it just kind of, it sort of just moves through me, and I go, please remember that, you know, or I think I can make something of that. And isn't that the most fun thing too, as a songwriter, the idea that, you know, you start, I mean, I love the process. I love it much more than singing it. I love it much more than selling it. I hate to sell it. Oh, that's a nightmare. But, you know, I sit at my computer with my garage band, you know, something really simple, because I can't mess with all those dials. And then my guitar and my word processing, and I come up with something. And for me, I find that if I write a full melody first, then I'm completely overwhelmed by having to match it to a good lyric. So I don't know about you guys, but for me, if I start with a piece of a lyric, and then I write a piece of the music, and then I write a little more lyric, a little more music, and it kind of goes in steps like that. And then I have something. Then they feel more organically connected. I've tried as a working, you know, lyricist to write to other people's melodies, and that's just a joke. I mean, I can do it. It sounds like I got paid to do it, and it doesn't sound very, I don't know, personal. I'd never sing those songs really, but in this particular case, I read a poem in a book called Great American Poetry, 1995. And what I loved about this poem is that it was written not in a rhyming scheme, it was written like a short story. And it was very conversational. And it was called Girl Writing a Letter. What I loved about this poem really is it moved me. It's funny how things move you. You don't even quite know why. But when I related it to my own life, I realized that there were strong connections in there, and that's why I was motivated to contact the writer. And I asked him, would he mind if I write this in a lyric form, making it poetic and, well, not poetic, I didn't say that, he would have killed me. Making it rhyme, you know, rhyming schemes, and then setting it to music, and he said, yes. He said, I know you will take care of it as one does any child. And then I thought, he hasn't met my children. But they're doing good now. But at the time, it was, they weren't doing so good. Anyway, so this is called Girl Writing a Letter, and it's based on a true story of a thief that goes into a museum, the Gardner Museum in Boston. And he looks for a Vermeer painting, a girl writing a letter. It's what happens to the thief. It's what happens to the girl in the painting. And there are a couple of references at the end of streets in Boston. One is called Starrow Drive, and one is called Mass Pike, and that's their big highway, the Massachusetts Pike. So when you get to that, I hope you can understand these lyrics. So this is it, girl writing a letter. A thief drives his car to a museum. His knife, it is shiny and black. The guard says, I'm sorry, we're closed now. Tomorrow you have to come back. But I haven't got all evening. Something I need to have. Art is for pleasure, not possession. Where are you going with that? And he finds the Dutch master, he finds the Vermeer. The girl writing a letter in the painting is there. And he knows what he's doing, he knows it by heart. And the girl writing a letter waits there. And he slices the canvas on one edge, from the bones to the sun on the floor. And the girl doesn't hear this, no, she doesn't notice. She's writing her letter, writing her letter, just like she's done for years. And she doesn't hear him until it's too late. Now he's in the picture and he sits down and plays her favorite sonata, and it makes her heart race. And he's playing for her, and he plays and he plays and he plays. And the Gardner Museum is empty, only her and the man she just met. But she feels like she's known him forever. It's a feeling she'll never forget. So when he hands her the knife, well, she cuts, and the paintings fall out of their frames. And when he says, roll them up, then she does it. And she tapes the card's mouth with his tape. And he gives her the wheel, and he says, come on, drive. The night is all ours. And she takes Starrow Drive, and nothing else matters while she's on the Mass Pike. She's got a beer in her free hand. She's in love. She's alive. And he's found his Dutch master, he's found his Vermeer, and the girl writing a letter is sitting so near. And he knows what he's doing, he knows it by heart. And the girl writing a letter is his. I know my back is to most of you. I'm so I'm sorry, but I wanted also then to talk a little bit about one of my favorite writers, Paul Simon. And I love his work because, you know, he's very tricky. He'll write a song that is so sensitive and so deep that he will write it with a up-tempo melody. So that first when he grabs you with these beats, and then you realize that he's singing about something that is so profound. So I wanted just to show you, I love this particular song, especially when I started to relate to it. And I know you'll recognize it, but I slowed it down, and I just wanted to do a little piece of it and just sort of play you why I love this song so much. You might think it's a weird choice, but for me, it's a song to myself. Cecilia, you're breaking my heart. You're shaking my confidence daily. Oh, Cecilia, I'm down on my knees, begging you please, come home. Come home. Making love in the afternoon with Cecilia up in my bedroom. I got up to wash my face. When I come back to bed, someone's taken my place. Oh, Cecilia, you're breaking my heart. You're shaking my confidence daily. Oh, Cecilia, I'm down on my knees. I'm begging you, please, come home. Jubilation, she loves me again. I fall on the floor and I'm laughing. Jubilation, she loves me again. I fall on the floor and I'm laughing. Cecilia, you're breaking my heart. Cecilia, you're breaking my heart. Thank you so much. Yeah, he's great, isn't he? Oh, and then there's another song he has called Galaxy, and I heard it so many times, and then all of a sudden, I'm just going to sing the piece. All of a sudden I stopped because he had written this with Brian Eno. It was fast, it was just, I'd heard it 1,000 times in the kitchen, and then all of a sudden it was, oh, let me go. There is a moment, a chip in time, when leaving home is the lesser crime. Okay, come on. Is that like not the best line ever? You know, how does he do it? He gets these zingers, but yet if you heard the song, it's really up tempo, but he's just brilliant that way. Of course, my early influences were, you know, James Taylor, of course, Joni Mitchell, of course, Bob Dylan, and I could have only, you know, dreamt to, you know, write a song as good as the things that they did. I mean, for me, I was so profoundly moved the very first time I ever heard flows and flows of angel hair and ice cream castles in the air and flowered canyons everywhere. I've looked at clouds that way, but now they only block the sun. They rain and snow on everyone. So many things I would have done, but clouds got in my way. You know, come on, she's like brilliant. You know, and she's a good artist, which really pisses me off. She's a great painter. So I thought I would sing you. Okay, so this is my little trick. I don't know if any of you do this, but I'm giving you my big secret away. And that is that, you know, how many years have we all played with our capos, right? And forgive me if you don't think this is an original idea. You probably do this too. Lawrence, you probably do this already. But anyway, so, you know, you turn it upside down. Do you ever do that? No, right? I know. So you turn it upside down, and then it becomes this other tuning, this kind of a gad-dad tuning, which has given way to many different songs for me. But it's kind of a bitch to tune, so excuse me for a second. And then my other little trick is this thing. The iPhone has an app. Oh, and you can get your text at the same time. Kidding. It is it's called Guitar Toolkit. And it's so precise. You would use that, right? It's good. So let me just tune this up. Okay. So this is the title song for this new record, and I wrote it with one particular person in mind. The album is called Bricks Against the Glass, and you know, this again relates to growing up in the 70s. Hi, Roberto. Hi. Growing up in the 70s, and we believed in all sorts of things, and sometimes we didn't really even know why. You know, we just wore our armbands and protested, and then we said, what were we doing? What was that? So that's what this song is. We were young, we were dumb, we would follow, we would jump, for a dime, for a time. We were broken, we were blind, we were searching for a cause. We were nowhere, we were lost, we were lost. To a thing we would cling, stumble in and falter in, all in vain, nothing gained, down into the kitchen drain. He was everything I loved, love was everything I feared. So I made a mess of that, and I had to disappear. And the summer came, and the winter too. The birds flew south, like they always do. And I followed. We were searching, throwing bricks against the glass.